Alright, what is up guys, Nate4 here and welcome back to another ranking video, and also Merry Christmas, man. Happy holidays. Hopefully you guys are spending time with family, friends, having a good time, because that's very important. So today we got a ranking video. I'm going to be ranking all of the Home Alone films from the worst to the best, because you know it's a Christmas episode, why not? But yeah, at the end of the day, this is just for entertainment purposes, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. And if you do, drop a like on this video, share the video, subscribe if you haven't already. I'd appreciate it, and it's free. But yeah, enjoy the video. Easily in last place, Home Alone 4. This movie is an abomination. It's disgusting. It's unacceptable. This movie is just... it's not good in the slightest. This movie doesn't carry any of the creativity or charm of the ones that came before it. This movie just stinks, dude. And if I could go the rest of my life without watching this movie, I would be perfectly fine with that, okay? I do not like this movie like one bit, and I honestly feel bad for anyone who worked on it or that was a part of it. I mean, I'm sure at the time maybe this movie was considered, you know, somewhat fun or whatever, but geez, this movie has the same humor as like The Son of the Mask, and that movie was bad. And in my opinion, this is just and I feel like most people feel that way. Not even my opinion, just this is just the worst Home Alone film, okay? It's just not fun. It's not creative. It's not interesting at all. This movie doesn't really have any redeeming qualities about it, really. So it's easily last place for me. And number 5, Home Sweet Home Alone. This one kind of sucks too. This one's the most recent one. It was on like Disney Plus or whatever. It's not really good, but it's a lot better than Home Alone 4, I'll tell you that much. But anyways, this movie, it gets some points for at least switching up the plot. It's not this kid being all like, oh, you're trying to break into my house, so I gotta set all these booby traps and defend myself. This kid is more so the villain, if anything. Honestly, like, the quote-unquote villains of the movie are honestly kind of the victims, so I thought that was kind of creative and different. So it gets a bit of a pass, honestly. I'll give it that. And the movie at least looks good because of course it's more modern, but of course that's a given. But honestly, this movie just feels very bland and boring to me. Didn't really stick out. That's why it's here on this part of the list. If you like it, that's good for you, but it's just not for me personally. I just didn't really care for it all that much. I mean, it's not like the worst thing I've ever seen. Definitely not the worst Home Alone movie, but it gets some points because it does have the OG buzz from the original Home Alone and Home Alone 2. So that was probably the only real highlight of this movie for me. Other than that, movie was pretty whack. Going into 4th place, I got Home Alone, The Holiday Heist. This one is kind of going to be hit or miss for some people. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, though. It's not bad or anything. It's just not great. It doesn't really stick out to me, and it seems like this movie was really targeted towards like teenage guys who like video games. That's literally the main focus of this movie throughout the most part, and I don't know, man, it's not necessarily bad, but it just doesn't do anything that unique that really makes it stick out to me. And it kind of does what Halloween Resurrection did with the whole like, oh, the character's gonna like get help from someone else by using the internet to succeed. It kind of does that, and I don't know. If you're into that, then that's fine. It's not bad or anything. It's just a very mid movie for me. That's why it's here on the list. It's not necessarily bad, just fairly average. Topping off our 3rd place, getting the bronze medal, we got Home Alone 3. And if you ask me what's the most underrated and most underappreciated Home Alone movie, I'd say it's this one, man. And yeah, it doesn't touch the same feel and iconicness of the first two. I will say that. I think it has like a certain charm to it, man. I actually enjoyed this movie quite a bit, probably more than most people do. But it's the first one that didn't feature Macaulay Culkin in the role anymore. This was technically the recast or whatever, and it's different. I don't think this movie is bad. I don't really have any main complaints with it at all. I just don't think that it touches the first two, if that makes sense. I think this movie's good, but it's not great, right? So it's not nearly as bad as the previous ones here on the list. And like I said, I don't have any main gripes with this movie at all. I enjoy it, and like I said, the kid in this movie, he has a good charisma to him. He has a good personality, a good little charm to him or whatever. So I think he was a good replacement, but it has Scarlett Johansson in it, so it gets points. And the runner-up is going to be Home Alone. And I feel like depending on my day and my mood, this one could change. And I feel like a lot of people always have this debate about the first one and the second one, which one's better and everything like that. And they're both really, really good. They both pretty much have the same premise to them, honestly. So I enjoy both of them, man. They're both so fun. They're both really iconic. And the first one set the foundation. This was the one that started it all. Every Christmas, this movie is playing. And it's the movie that really started Macaulay Culkin's career. And it's just a good time, man. You can't really go wrong with this movie. It's iconic. It's fun. Has a lot of good one-liners, a bunch of iconic moments. And you can't be mad at this movie, man. It's so good. It's so fun. And it's just like every scene has like an iconic line, an iconic moment in it. So I like it a lot, man. I don't have any complaints with this movie at all. I just simply think that there's one that goes above it. I think it's close, though. I think it's close. I think both of these movies are pretty much neck and neck. Like I said, depending on my mood, this could change. It can always be shuffled around, but as of right now, I think I'm comfortable with this choice. So yeah, Home Alone, the original, second. But in first place for me personally, I'm going to go with Home Alone 2. I just like how this movie feels, man. It's a lot more ambitious than the first one. It's a lot bigger than the first one. It seems a lot more fun as well. And it's just a good time, man. The first one set the foundation. This one expanded on it. I love the New York City location of it. It's just a really, really good time. And although the reviews weren't as strong for this one as the first one, and the movie didn't make as much money as the first one, I still really like this movie, man. It's easily as iconic and as memorable as the first one. And it's just a really good time, man. The villains return this time around, and I like it a little bit more because this time around they have a vengeance. They have, revenge on their mind. They have a motive for doing what they're doing. And that's what makes me like it, man. I think this movie just feels a lot bigger in terms of scale. And like I said before, it can change between 1 and 2 all the time. They're both pretty much neck and neck. But if I had to choose one that I did want to watch right now, if I had to choose one that I think is just a little bit more fun, then yeah, I'd say Home Alone 2 is a little bit more fun for me. I enjoy both of them damn near equally, like I said. But in terms of today, how I'm feeling, I'm going to go with this one. Feels a little more bigger, feels a little more personal. It's just a damn good movie. So yeah, that's just me. All right, that's going to wrap this one up, man. If you enjoyed it, definitely show some support to it. I had a good time making this one. And like I said, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Holidays, all that stuff. Hopefully you all had a great Christmas, or you're currently still enjoying it. But yeah, man, I'm in it for it, and I am out. Peace.